George Orwell's 1984 is a powerful novel set in a bleak dystopian world where the government controls every aspect of life. Published in 1949, the story paints a chilling picture of a society dominated by surveillance, propaganda, and the suppression of free thought. At its heart, 1984 is about the fight for individuality and truth in a world bent on crushing both. The novel follows Winston Smith, a middle-aged man living in Airstrip 1, formerly London, a province of a totalitarian state called Oceania. The party, led by the mysterious Big Brother, rules with absolute power. Through constant surveillance and ruthless enforcement, the party controls not only what people do, but also what they think. "Big Brother is watching you" is a recurring slogan that reflects the inescapable monitoring of citizens by telescreens and secret police. Winston works at the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to rewrite history to match the party's ever-changing version of events. For example, if the party decides they've always been at war with East Asia, Winston must erase any record showing otherwise. This manipulation of truth deeply troubles him, and he secretly rebels by starting a diary, a dangerous act, as even thoughts against the party are considered thought crimes. As Winston writes in his diary, "Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 makes 4. Winston's rebellion takes a risky turn when he meets Julia, a young woman who works in the fiction department. Though Winston initially distrusts her, Julia slips him a note that says, "I love you." The two begin a secret relationship, meeting in hidden places like a rented room above a second-hand shop. This room, owned by an apparently kind shopkeeper named Mr. Charrington, becomes their refuge from the party's prying eyes. Their relationship is not just about love, it's an act of defiance. As Julia explains, the party seeks power entirely for its own sake. It is not interested in the good of others, it is interested solely in power. Believing they might be part of a larger resistance, Winston and Julia try to join a group called the Brotherhood, which they've heard is working to overthrow the party. They are introduced to O'Brien, a high-ranking party member who pretends to share their rebellious spirit. O'Brien gives Winston a book that explains how the party maintains control through lies, fear, and manipulation. The book states, "Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past." But Winston and Julia's rebellion is doomed. Mr. Charrington, the shopkeeper, is actually a member of the Thought Police, and their safe room was a trap all along. They are arrested and taken to the Ministry of Love, where they are separated and subjected to brutal torture. O'Brien, who is never a rebel, oversees Winston's torment. He tells Winston, "Power is in tearing human minds to pieces and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing." The most harrowing moment comes when O'Brien subjects Winston to his greatest fear, rats. Trapped and broken, Winston screams, "Do it to Julia, not me." This betrayal marks the end of his resistance. He is released back into society, but he is no longer the same. In the novel's tragic conclusion, Winston meets Julia again, but they are both hollow, having betrayed each other under torture. They no longer feel love or connection. Winston has been completely brainwashed. The final line of the book reveals his ultimate surrender. He loved Big Brother. Key scenes, like Winston's secret diary, his first meeting with Julia, the betrayal in the rented room, and his breaking point in the Ministry of Love, show the terrifying power of the party. Orwell's use of slogans like "war is peace," "freedom is slavery," "ignorance is strength," highlights how language and truth can be twisted to control people. The party's goal is absolute, to make individuals incapable of independent thought. 1984 is a warning about the dangers of totalitarianism, propaganda, and the loss of personal freedom. Orwell's vision of a world where truth is erased and minds are controlled remains hauntingly relevant, reminding us to guard against oppression and to value truth, even when it's inconvenient or dangerous.